the streets. Sometimes it's in a place called the cloud. Now, you're going to hear the word cloud a lot. And as HR people, it's really important for me that you learn what cloud means. So I'm going to give you a technical definition and then a story, and we'll talk about coffee. All a cloud means is we're shifting from a hardened server in one location that has data, a different place than where programs are, to the idea that they will be in the, quote, sky, unquote, a computer capacity that will contain both data and programs. So the background behind this was Goldman Sachs, very, very large company in New York that had to do a tremendous amount of processing every day at 4:01 to 4:09. They had to process all the stock market trades. They had a building of computers that only worked for 9 minutes a day. And they kept adding computers because the company was growing. And somebody had this great idea. They said, you know, Amazon doesn't really use their computers until 6 p.m. That's when they use theirs to start to do their shipping stuff. What if we went to Amazon and said, can we use your computers for 9 minutes? And they basically started what was the first cloud. So not only did they shut down a building of computers, they bought from Amazon the place to put all their data and their programs. And in fact, Amazon now makes almost as much money from their cloud as they do from being a retailer. But the cloud concept has changed. So the Maise Center, I cannot tell you where all our video is. We put our video in the cloud, so when you hit it from Calgary, you're getting it from a different server than I will in Saratoga. If you hit it from the Motorola Zoom tablet that came out 9 days ago, the cloud has already figured out a way to know it's there and transform it on the way in. But the other element of cloud that's really important is that sometimes we don't know where the knowledge is, but it's not important if we can discover where it is. So come with me to an important moment in my life just a couple years ago. I'm of the Jewish faith, and we celebrate a holiday in my house called Passover. It's a great, great, great day to have all our friends of faiths over, and we have this great dinner at our house. And I usually have people of 7 faiths, 20 to 40 people. It's wonderful. And I love gadgets. And one of the gadgets I bought a few years ago was a high-tech, personalized, robotic cappuccino maker. So literally, if Lynn came over, I could make her coffee at the exact temperature she wanted with the exact amount of foam, and it's wonderful. I'm a geek, and it's perfect. So we're having this big, gigantic opportunity for this party. My wife goes off to do the shopping for food, and I go to get our cappuccino machine ready because all my friends know it's coming. They're going to have it at the end of the meal. And the person who cleans my house thought they were doing me a favor and had taken it apart and cleaned it that afternoon. So when I went to do my test cup, I got a message I had never seen. Brewing unit failure, do not attempt to dispense. I am freaking out. I live in Saratoga Springs, New York, a small semi-rural community in upstate. There are no 24/7 Gaggia service centers nearby. In fact, the only center is in San Diego, California, which would take a week to get there and the like. So I do what any techie does. You probably have this as well. We all have a place in our house where unopened manuals that are still in the wrapper live. Do you have those? Okay. I have a room of them, okay? I literally have an unused room where I just keep all the manuals that I don't open. So I go in, it takes me an hour to find it. Sure enough, it's wrapped in cellophane, heat sealed. I open it up, and there is a 274-page manual from Gaggia, clearly written by somebody who was not paid for performance. I follow the directions, and nothing gets better. So I'm freaking out. They have no help desk. I go online. I type into Google, Gaggia, broken, emergency. I actually know Sergey, the CEO of Google, and I had to call him up and say, wow, you saved me, because what popped up was a little Google ad that said, is your cappuccino maker dysfunctional? We can support you in real time, $19 to $29. fixer.com. Well, I whip out my credit card, put my money in, okay? I'm a little cheap, so I don't get the $29 version. I get the $21 version. And 19 minutes later, there is email. And I open it up, and it's one page of this almost 300-page manual illustrated by someone. It's illustrated. He says, take the brew unit out, take the silver screw, take it all the way out, put it in, but don't put it all the way in, only do 4 turns. Then take the brew unit and do it 3 times at a 45-degree angle, pushing hard, and screw the other element in. I'm desperate right now, because understand, if I can't fix it, Passover at the Maise house will be canceled. And if you read Scripture very carefully, there's a little asterisk that says, this meal shall happen each year, and there shall be robotic cappuccino served at the end. So theoretically, there'll be a rip in the universe there. I do this, and all of a sudden, the display changes, and it says, how many cups would you like to brew? It's working. So I go back, I hit the release funds, which have been put into escrow, and there's a little I am box you can have for further help. I don't need further help. I type in, hi, I'm Elliott. It works. Where are you? I love you. He types back, my name is Rajiv. I'm in Ahmedabad, India. I'm glad it works. I love you too. You know? And we start to type to each other, the beginning of what's become a wonderful relationship. Okay, and he's telling me about the most difficult elements. We're going back and forth. And I ask a question, because I'm imagining Rajiv with 10 to 12 of these machines in his apartment. How many of the machines do you have in your apartment? You ever been instant messaging with somebody and it gets really quiet? There's a pause of about 3 minutes. And he types. I say, are you there? I hope you will still love me. But the truth is, I've never seen one. Then how did you fix my machine? He types back, it's important for you to know my background. I have a degree in mechanical engineering. I've worked for the railroad company in India for several years, 12 to be exact. I'm in a network of 16 other engineers, and at the end of the day, we fix these cappuccino makers from around the world. The first couple of times it didn't go so well. But I only get paid if it works. It got better, and even today, I checked my answer with 3 of my fellows before I sent it to you. Turn to your neighbor. What lesson do you extract from that of how the world is changing, what its implications might be as we start to think about knowledge, work, our workforce? And I'm not talking about outsourcing work to a railroad engineer in India, but just take a minute to talk to your neighbor about that story. So.
Big way, because I mean we don't share a product, right? Everybody's got their area of focus, so there's not information exchanging to the same.
Okay, hello. Couple implications. Somebody at this table. What's something that story triggered for anybody here?
I thought it was interesting that you didn't go to Gaggia for the information.